Hello everyone. If you're watching this video, it's because you came across the issue that Musescore does not allow different dynamic levels on the different staves of the piano score. So I'm going to show you what I've done to work around it, and that is, it's what I have done, and it doesn't mean that it's the only way or the best way or whatever. It's just what I figured out what to do. And that is, I'm going to add an instrument to this, which is another piano, and that piano has dynamics that are not tied to the first piano. And then we're going to put on there what we want to listen to, and then we're going to hide it because we're writing a piece only for one piano. And I don't want two pianos shown on the score. So, to start with, I'm going to play a section of this and show you what I'm talking about, because I have a certain dynamic range set here, and I want the playback to bring this out a little bit. Now, a performer would know enough to bring it out, so I'm not worried about that. I don't have to indicate a different dynamic here. But so performance-wise, it's not important. But for playback on this, if you want an example of what you really want it to sound like, you've got to have two different levels of dynamics. And also, there's plenty of times in a composition where you want a different dynamic on one hand than the other, and this does not allow you to do that. So we'll play it through, hopefully. So as you can see, you obviously can hear this line, but it's just not brought out as much as I would like it to be. So to start with, you're going to need three tabs here: palettes, instruments, and properties. Doesn't matter what order they're in. And you get those to display by going up here to View, and then click the appropriate box. So the first thing I'm going to do is add an instrument. So I click on Instruments, Add. I'm going to add a piano. So it's a keyboard, a piano. Put it to the list. Okay. So now we see displays another piano down here. Everything's parallel, same time signature, same key signature, everything else. So now I want this line. This line just stays there. I'm not going to do anything with it. This line I want to be brought out, and I want a different dynamic than this line. So the only thing I can do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to do Control-C just because it's easier for me, and then down here I'm going to do Control-V, or you can do the right click, paste. So I have exactly the same thing down here. Now when I play this back, you have to, well, you've got to get rid of the highlight. Okay, so we're going to play it back, and you'll hear this a little louder. But what's happening is they're both playing, and maybe you can discern that, maybe you can't, but I don't want this line to play. I want this one to play. So I'm going to then select this line again, and I am going to go to Properties and uncheck the play box. So when this plays again, it will not play this. It will play this, and at the same time it will play these. So that pretty much gets done what we want to happen. Now we're going to have to hide the piano. And I'm going to do that by going to Instruments, selecting Piano 2 with this arrow drop down menu. Now you see it highlights all of these things. It has the Piano 2, which is the overall thing, and then the different clefs related to it. If you, with it all highlighted like this in blue, and you click this eye, which then closes the eye, it does all of them. And if you were to do that, I'll just demonstrate to you. You see it does not play this line because I told it not to, but it also does not play the line on Piano 2. And that's just the way it works. So what we're going to do is open the side back up. We're going to select treble clef to deselect, basically deselect the main piano, close the eye, and the treble clef goes away. Close the eye on the bass clef goes away. You're left with only the score you want, which is the piano number 1. And then we play it again. You see that it comes out. Now you see that the melodic line came out, and it sounds much better. So that is all there is to it. Now this has broader application, so if you have an instrument, for example, I had an instrument where I had a violin where I wanted to play pizzicato, but the violin sound font that I had doesn't have pizzicato, but the one on Musescore default did. So I set up another violin line, told that violin to play pizzicato, and hit the line, and then it comes out pizzicato, and it goes back to not arco, not with the bow, at the appropriate time. So give this a try and see what you think. Happy composing.